how to use iPad as a digital tools to do art for traditional artists. This is the part 1. Basics of using iPad, particularly use the app Procreate on iPad. When you are getting into the Procreate, you will see this main screen. And inside the main screen, there's different folders. We're going to look into those a little bit deeper. But first thing, you're going to press the plus sign and you're going to create a new canvas. Let's just use the screen size. Tap on it. Now it's open. The first thing about how to use your gesture, your finger gesture, when you move it a little closer together, a little bit smaller, center, and you move it left, right, high, lower. When you do that, like a really sudden, push it to each other, and actually it go into the full screen. And you can rotate your canvas. If you don't want to see all those interface around the canvas, use 4 fingers just together. Now all those will be hidden. If you want to unhide them, you just press that icon and it will come back. A question from our members. Do you have to have Apple Pencil use Procreate? The answer is no. You don't have to have a fancy Apple Pencil. Now I'm going to put it on the side over here. And let's talk about other options. I have this one is called dot, D-O-T. And this is supposed to be for you to write to turn this on. Okay, now it's ready. I'm going to press over here. I'm going to use a little darker color. Here you go. I'm going to write something. Like say, enjoying art. So this is how you write. If you turn it a little bit, turn it down a little bit, and it's still the same. Same as you write it upright. So there's not much difference compared to the Apple Pencil. You write it like this and put it down. You have a little lighter half tone, similar to the real pencil. But you can use the brush size and also the opacity. You can control that too. Like say, if I want to have that kind of brush stroke, how I'm going to do that? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. You see that? The little image showing how big the brush would be. And I'm going to make this a little lower, which is the opacity a little bit, only 30%. Now I'm going to write it like this, very similar to what you would use the pencil. You just need to do a little bit more work. So if I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to have a sharper, a smaller line. So now you can draw it like this, and maybe a little more, like that. And then I'm gonna have a little thicker brush stroke and a little bit softer, and then you change it, the setting on the side over here to get that brush stroke look like. Very useful gesture. Erase everything on the same layer. Use 3 fingers and just left and right really quickly. And then it's gone. I'm going to use this one. That's a little rubber, little tip over here for you to just to use it to draw. Yeah, it's very similar. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller brush stroke, a little bit higher opacity. Now, it's just the same thing that you will use this tool, right? And I'm going to ready to make it a little bigger, but a little softer. Now, here you go. So it's very similar effect. Or you can use your finger. Now I'm going to erase this. 3 finger. Now I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to have a softer. Now here you go. I'm going to draw a circle. Now I want to make a little bit emphasis the thinner line, but thinner line coming down over here, thinner, only 5% of the size, 8%, maybe 10% of the size. Now I'm going to make this to be opacity to be 100%. So I'm going to draw that, a little eye over here, a little nose, and so on, a little smiley. But the smiley, I'm going to have it a little bit softer. Now I'm going to make it a little softer, make it a little bigger. Okay, here on the cheek. If you don't have an Apple Pencil, it's okay. And use this. You can use the sideway without change the setting over here. You can do the drawing a little bit faster, a little bit more intuitive as you use a regular traditional pencil or charcoal pencil, right? So this is the only difference. Let's come back over here, talk about how to mix color. Okay, first I'm going to erase this. Use 3 fingers. Okay, when you tap over here, then you open with the existing color on the color wheel. 2 areas you need to adjust. One is the outside, is the color hue. Different color hues by moving from the left to the right. Say, okay, I'm a little bit more red color. So you stop over here and a little bit more green colors. The color inside circle, it changed because the hue changed. Okay, now you come over here. Okay, all right, I'm gonna pick the skin color. It's about that kind of orange color. But inside the orange, there's some intense colors and a little bit more neutral color all the way to this side, right? A little bit lighter on this side, a little bit darker in this direction. So it's very easy to understand. Just do some practice and you're going to very familiar. I'm going to pick this color. Look at the color over here and the color, all the color over here. And this color is should be a little bit more red or a little bit more yellow. So you can modify the color here. You can change the color over here, right? See the color here, it changed. And okay, this is probably a little bit better color. Now I'm going to release over here. Now this color now updated. Now I'm looking at it. Oh, okay, still this is the right color, but it should need to a little bit more gray. Okay, I'm going to move it toward the left hand side. Okay, toward this direction. Okay, a little bit more on this side. And then you think about, oh, it lighter or darker? Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit lighter, coming toward the up. Or toward down, a little bit darker color. Okay, so this is basically, it's very easy to modify those colors. If you're thinking about, oh, this is the color, I'm going to use it again and again, and you can save it to your own custom color palette. What you can do is tap on the available color chip space, just one tap, and remember, it's very easy. Okay, I'm gonna pick the color that I already set before, and you can tap over here. Now I'm gonna get that color. Tap on the color chip circle again, and it would hide it. This is basically all you need to do to mix different color. And the other thing is, can I pick the color from the picture, from the drawing that I already have? For example, I'm going to do a little bigger stroke, a little bit lower opacity. So what I'm drawing is look like this, right? So I saw the color over here. Now I'm going to change the color. Okay, I'm going to change the other color. So these 2 colors are actually overlaid like that. And I saw the color over here. I want to pick that color. That's actually the color I want. What you need to do is use your finger, one finger, and press it and hold it. And you're going to see. I'm going to press it over here and hold it. Now you see that ring or they come up. If you move your finger a little bit and your finger actually now focus on one color and the neighbor color, you see that in the surrounding is actually lots of different color chip over there. I'm going to take this color. It's gold. And you're going to release that. And this color chip updated. And now you can use this color to draw. Now this color is a little bit different than that color. You can pick any color, use it as a new color by press it and hold it and then move it a little bit. The bottom is the existing color that you already have on the color chip, right? And the top color is the new color. You can move it a little, can find that color. It's very easy. The color chip updated. Now you can use the new color to draw. The 3 icons, what do they mean? The first one is the brush. And let's take a look at roughly. The brush right now, what I use is the chalk. I put in my first name next to it. I combine the chalk and the pencil together to create this. You can modify this if you get familiar with how to modify the characteristics of a brush, and you can go over those different properties, okay? But for now, just pick something that you feel comfortable. Tap over here, come back to the library. Or you can have a pencil. You can click on 6B pencil, or you can download the chalk Yong from our Discord in Join Art Sharing Center in the digital area. Click on other brush collections. Airbrush. A lot of people use airbrush. It's very smooth. And you can try it. Like the medium airbrush. I click over here and come back here. And maybe I'm going to make a little darker color. I'm going to make it 100%. And make it 100%, the largest, maybe a little smaller. You can see this is very smooth, look like an airbrush. I control the pressure, and you can see that a little bit lighter. If you press a little bit harder, that's a little bit darker. So basically very intuitive. So I'm gonna make it a little smaller. I can draw the line. That is the airbrush. And use the airbrush. If you lower the angle of the Apple Pencil, it doesn't really do the same behavior as you would have in the pencil or my chalk Yong. Thinking about the airbrush, you don't really have different touches. You just spray onto your surface. So this is the brush tool. You tap on it, you can go to different collection. You can try a different kind of look of brush. You can try it. And the inking and the sketching, and try different libraries. And the second one is the blending tool. The blending tool is very easy. Just like you are using the paper blender to blend charcoal pencil, graphite pencil. Let's say if you brush it outside, it will look like this. Okay, blend it, it blur. And also the blending, a little bit different. One thing different from traditional blending. If you're blending from outside, the outside acts as the white paper, has white powder over here. If I brush it from the outside in, it actually blending the white color inside the color, like this. I'm gonna keep blending from the outside to the inside. I can make the color lighter. So try all this exercise, and you're gonna feel much better, right? Like this. If I'm blending from the inside, you blend the color to the outside, right? The blending tool, also, you can select a different texture of brush when you do the blending, okay? I use the chalk Yong as well, so that the texture remains the same as the chalk. And the last one is the eraser. Okay, not the last one. The last one actually layers. We're going to talk about that in the next part. Eraser is pretty easy. You can use different sizes. I'm going to make it this big. Okay, now I'm going to make it a little bit less. Okay, now I'm going to do the erasing. Erasing, basically you erase the color on this layer. This, okay. It looks like if you are doing erasing, it's similar to you use the white color to draw, right? You can see that, oh, you use the white color to draw. It looks very similar. But one thing is not the same is you add the white color. The erasing, it actually remove the color. When you have a different layer underneath, has different colors, you will see the difference in this. So we'll talk about that in our next episodes. If you're going to use the eraser really big, it's 100% opacity, you actually can erase the whole paper. Erase everything on this paper. Or you can do the three-finger thing, left and right, and they are all gone. We just learned these three plus the color mixing. For these demonstrations, I'm going to draw statues of a horse. So I'm going to have this color as the background color. So maybe a little bit more yellow. I'm going to move it to that. Okay, good. I can tone the entire paper to be this color. In that case, what I would need to do is to drag this color chip and move it to the paper and release it. And see the whole tone paper now changed from white to this color. If you think this is not the right color, now I'm going to make it a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit more yellow. Here you go. Now what I'm going to drag it over again. See the color change again. So this is very easy. This is good. Let's start doing some drawing. What I like to do, I'm going to have a color a little bit darker than this. Okay, this is good. We're not going to use any layers, just one layer. It's very similar to what we are drawing with graphite or charcoal pencils on our tone paper, right? So if you don't have an iPad, if you don't want to do digital exercise, you just use the regular white paper or the tone paper with a graphite pencil or charcoal pencil. Okay, let's start this drawing. I want to gain the maximum drawing space. So I'm going to use 4 fingers, tap, and now I hide everything else. Now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Good. Now, right like this. If you are a member of Enjoying Art, you can download this reference image from our sharing center or Patreon. If you're seeing this on YouTube, it's only going to stay in the public for a month, and then it will disappear. If you're a member of the Enjoying Art Learning community, you can always get access to these learning materials in the Enjoying Art Learning Center. Okay, let's start doing the drawing. Digital painting process exactly the same as we would do using traditional materials. Okay, the first thing I'm going to try to find out is where I'm going to compose this drawing. I'm going to pick the color a little bit darker. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, like this. It's fine. 10%. Okay. I'm going to see. To see overall where this drawing is going to be. The base, I'm going to set it over here. The tails over here, and the top could be right over here. So this look like the area for the horse. Right? The legs would be somewhere like this. I can move the base a little bit lower. At this step, don't need to think too much about the proportion or the measurements and all other things. What you need to do is to thinking about where you're going to place the whole drawing. Okay, maybe this a little bit higher. On this, the back over here a little bit higher. It's just simple. I'm going to make the whole thing looks really simple, like this. Because I don't use layers, what I'm doing now is very similar to what I would do on a sheet of paper. Okay, that. And I have the opacity is not exactly 100%. It's only about 90%. Okay, and a little bit, I can make a little bit bigger for the brush size. Just think at this step. If this is what you would like, or do you want to move it even a little bit higher, or maybe a little bit smaller, you can do that. Just the same thing that you would do on a regular drawing. So what I like to do, I think this is what I want. Okay, that's what I want. And the base, if you want, you can make the base a little bit bigger. Totally up to you. Okay. Roughly look like this. Okay, if this is what you want, and we are going to do a little measurement. You see from the top over here to this point, I think this is very much similar to this length. This equals to this, right? They're very similar. In that case, I can find the relationship. And from here, you can draw an angular line coming down like this too. So if you're not using a digital tool, just think about this is a real pencil or color pencil. Okay, like this. Now from here, I'm going to draw a line, the angular line, and cross over. I can see that this is actually the tip of the head. Now from here, from the top over here, a little bit less than half, that is just the beginning of the curved line coming down like this. Just draw the curved line coming down like that. Now we gradually divide it into smaller and smaller proportion based on the biggest proportion. Now from here, I think I can find something very interesting. From here to all the way to the bottom over here looks the same as from here to here. So from here to here, it goes from here to here, and from here to here, right? So I think this can be a little bit shorter because I can see this portion, right? Similar to this and similar to that. Okay, actually, this can be a little bit longer. Okay, now I'm gonna pick this color again because I overwrite the color by accident. Okay. Now this is good. Now we're gonna find now a little curve over here, a little curve coming up, coming down, and then coming over. And I can, from here, I can divide this portion into half. You can see that? This half. And there's a line coming toward this direction. And looking at the angular of this line. And then from here to here, you can divide it to the half. And the half coming down like this direction. And this line. And this looks like you move a little bit toward the right hand side, like this. Okay, now I'm looking for this angular line and divide into it almost half, a little bit more than half. And this is a little curve coming up over here, like that. And that's cool. Now coming over this, about from here to here, about 2/3 and 1, 2, 3, 2/3, and that is the bottom. And actually, that's almost as the bottom of the belly, right? This is good. Now we're gonna find this. Looks like this angle coming a little bit more toward the right hand side, and now the leg coming to this direction. Look at the angle, right? Now I'm looking for. And there's a little curved line coming over here. Looking at that, it's almost the same angle, the same level as this. So your eye always like really quickly comparing, and then coming. This is the angle over here, and coming down. Now we land the bottom. Now compare this with this the direction of this angle. Okay, compare the corner over here to here, and you can see double check whether or not it's correct. Okay, like that. Okay, now this a little bit lower. That's the beginning, the top of the tail here. Okay, like this. Like that. It's good. Now we come back on this side. From here, you can almost draw really smooth line coming down like this. And actually here, that is just the front of the horse. Now draw a smooth line coming down over here. Now I'm going to cut this little corner, and that is the front of the horse. Okay, now I'm going to draw a little tilted line. Okay, don't see the details yet. Now I'm going to coming down over here, and the bottom over here very similar to that. Here you go. And a little corner cut over here and then come back. So this is the front leg. And you can see from here, you can come up with this angle. Now this, the other leg on the back. I think it's move a little bit more in like this. And this looks like an angular line, like a triangle, a little bit coming like this. And now we can look into the rear leg, the back legs on the other side, and look for comparing with this leg. Now you can get that. We're not reproducing a photograph. You can make changes, modifications to create your own version of the artwork. Okay, now the horse, roughly we already have in locations. Now take a look at the back over here. Okay, that is the ear, right over here. And this area, that is quite a bit of details over here. We're going to work into that later part in the process. Okay, like that. And this is the mouth. And that's the nose. Like that. But over here is belong to the same shape. Now take a look, and is this size a little bit too big, a little bit too small compared with the whole drawing? Okay, now I want it to be a little bit the same size. I want it to be darker, and maybe I'm going to change the color a little bit darker. Okay, now I'm going to have a little bit darker. So pretend they have a darker pencil. I'm going to do a little conforming. Now take a look at the width over here compared to the width of other place, like here. Is roughly in the right relationship. Like say from here, right? From here actually coming up a little on the back over here, like this. And the back over here and turning like this. And from here to the bottom, it looks very much the same as from here to this. And take a look again. It looks like almost there. And actually this should be curved up a little bit like this. That's good. Now it's a little bit wider. So always double check. This equals to this. And take a look. Take a look at the angle. And coming, I'm going to make it even darker. Okay. Coming over here. Okay. Looking for that. And looking for, that's good. And a little curve over, and we can make more modification later. Okay, the mouth over here. We're now looking for the details. Okay, the horse coming down like this, the head, very beautiful, like this. That's good. So spend more time looking for those correction before you move too fast. And over here, from this corner, now I can see a little detail over here coming down like this. From here, I can draw an angular line like this direction. You can see that. And then from here to here, almost half of it start over here. They can see a little smooth triangle shape right over here. Now, as I always say, after you take care of the bigger shape, the smaller shape falling in place, it will be just naturally very easy. Okay, like that, and then one over here, and a little shape on the side over here. That's good. Like this. Now coming in here is a little more curve like this, and the inside over here should come in a little bit more like that. That's good. I'll do a little correction. Now thinking about from here to here, now this is a little bit too high. So if this is correct, yeah, take a look. Compare this to the horse face, and this probably should be a little bit higher. Just think about that. Compare from here to here, and I think this, it maybe just a little bit lower like that. Like this, and coming down to the leg. Yeah, take a look. So this one should be a little bit higher, like that. And now from here you can draw a line coming toward the back over here, looking for the angle. Okay, like this. Okay, that's good. Now comparing. Let's just compare with the local area, compare with a little farther away space, looking for the global connection. All right. And the table on the back over here, just draw a little line like this. It's fine. I'm going to have that line as the table a little bit more farther, a little bit wider. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next step. We're going to looking for a bigger shape, and those need to be correct. I think this need to be higher. Squint your eye. This can be a little higher, and the back here should be a little bit higher too. So this is the coming down a little bit too much. So let's take a look, and this probably over here, and I think the back over here should be a little higher. Now compare with the face over here. Draw a line, horizontal line, to see how they meet. I think the back over here line up with the nose. So what that is, and it's going to be in here, and the back should be a little higher like this. So if you do that, you raise everything a little higher on the back of the horse, and this need to be higher like that. And now this need to be higher. Okay, that's probably right. This to be higher, and this need to be higher like that. So this doesn't really matter if you do it digital or you do it traditional. You still do go through this, the same process. Okay, making sure you get the relationship correctly. Now need to be higher, coming up. So if you don't check it, it's just go for and keep going, and then you're gonna realize at the end, you're gonna realize that, oh, it's terribly wrong, and that is going to be feel a little painful. You kind of, oh, why I didn't check that. Now I'm gonna see this line, a little curve coming to a little bit more to the right hand side like this. I think this can be a little bit, since the back already raised higher, so this got to be higher too. Okay, like that. All right, we can keep going, and we can come back again and again. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tone the bigger shape, the bigger area. First, take a look at this area, a little bit warmer, darker, and this area a little bit darker. First, we're gonna separate the few areas first. And I'm gonna tap on this color based on the background color. I'm gonna make it a little warmer, going to a little bit more red, and come back a little bit brighter, coming down like this. I think this is about the color I want. And maybe coming up like this, right here. Let's take a look. I'm gonna have a little bit bigger brush stroke. I'm gonna come back to Yong and come back over here. I'm gonna have this brush stroke. This is fine. I'm gonna have it a little bit, not 100%. Now what I like to do here is just gonna shade it. The same thing that you would do with the charcoal pencil or color pencil. Okay. Now I'm gonna be shading over here, and I don't have to do it like a solid. Just that's good. Have it in this color. Right? Looking for bigger connections. Now this is good. Right over here. And this may be a little bit. I'm gonna shade a little bit over here. Okay. But the bottom over here is a little bit cooler and darker. Now I'm gonna coming in to have a little bit more like a greenish color, but I'm gonna have a little bit darker, right? So maybe come back a little bit warmer. Let's see, a little bit darker here. Probably this will be the color. And for the back over here, now I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna have the brush stroke a little bit bigger, like this, like that. That's good. Now coming down over here, and look like the tail also similar color, and looks like a little bit warmer. I'm gonna change the color. Just drag the color here to be a little bit toward the red. Very easy. Now I'm gonna looking at over here. This part has a little bit warmer. So it's very easy. Just compare. When you compare the color, you're gonna find what's the new color supposed to be. Like over here in the shadow side. I'm gonna shade that in here. And looking at the lake over here, I have a little bit more yellowish color. I'm gonna come in toward this side. Okay. Like that. And also the bottom over here, I'm gonna draw a little bit cast shadow. Okay. Like that. This is fine. Now I'm gonna look in on the face, also on the neck over here. It should be a little warmer, much warmer. And looks like the same color, maybe a little bit darker. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna take a look over here. I'm gonna make it even bigger here. I'm gonna tilt down the Apple Pencil a little bit lower, so I'm gonna have it a little bit more like shading position. Okay, like that. I'm gonna take a look at the face. Okay, like that. It's good. That's the face, that's the neck. So we are making the three-dimensional look. Okay. In the tail here, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller and also a little bit darker. Now I'm gonna come in over here. That need a little bit darker and coming like that. That's good. Over here on this side, this leg's a little bit darker. I'm gonna come here, make it a little darker. Also a little bit over here too, like that. Right? I'm gonna have a little bit bigger, and also the opacity coming down a little bit. And maybe give a little texture over here. Give a little bit darker, like that. That's just good. Now looking at the top over here, This is about the right colors. So I'm gonna set a little bit, separate a little cool colors. So I'm gonna come in a little cooler color over here, maybe coming through a little bit more blue. That's probably too much. So I'm gonna have a little bit more as natural coming to this side. I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna set a little color over here, a little blue. So almost. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit too great. I'm gonna come back like this, have a little warmer. Okay. I'm gonna set a little color here. Give a little texture like that. Okay, and the back over here have this color too, but it's just a little bit lighter. Also here, and have a little kind of cool color on here, just roughly. And also the same color can apply to this area. And here you go. Again, assuming that you guys use traditional medium and you're primarily is a traditional artist, you just want to touch into how to learn the tool as a supplementary tool to making art. So will be the right video for you. And on the top over here, I'm going to use a little bit lighter. Actually, in fact, a little bit lighter than the background color. So what I want to do, I'm going to make this much lighter. Okay, like that. Maybe a little bit warmer, a little bit lighter, like this. I'm going to see how it looks. I'm going to make the brush size a little bit smaller. Okay, now I'm going to come over here. See that? Now, the horse back over here now is a little bit lighter than the outside. Now create a separation like that, and draw a little line. Okay, the back over here, a little light over here too. My brush size is still pretty big. Now on the top over here, I'm also going to apply a little light like that. A little light over here. A little light over here. Right? Pretty easy. Just like the way that you draw with a traditional medium. I'm going to set a little light color here too. I'm going to make it the size a little bit smaller. I'm going to draw a little bit detail line, a little bit over here too. Like that. Now I'm going to draw a little line on the bell over here, like that. And set a little light on the top over here. On this side, you can set this as the light area, so you can see, make it this belt a little bit three-dimensional. Okay, now on this side, a little lighter shade, like this. That's good. Alright, that's good. I'm gonna come to over here, take a look, and this can be a little bit higher. Okay, now draw a little thinner line to set. Actually, I can draw a little bit more over here. And the bottom, I'm going to make a little darker line later. And also in here, I can draw a few texture line like this. And like that. I can. We can look into a little bit more details later, not at this step. Okay, that is good. Now what I like to do now, I'm going to pick the background color again. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, 100%. Actually, I use this to erase those lines that I did that in the early drawing. Okay, like this. Like this. And over here too. Okay, make it a little smaller. Now I'm going to get into the little gap over here to remove this. But again, sometimes when you draw, in the drawing process, you make some blur area and create some soft edges. You probably exactly what you would want. You don't want the whole thing to be all clear all around. By looking at some of our members' artwork, you still have the habit of making everything so clear. You don't really need to make everything so clear. Okay, I'm gonna have this here like that, and over here a little bit lighter. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna soften that a little bit like that. That's fine. Now let's take a look at the overall drawing. I think this still can be a little bit higher. So what I want to do, first I'm going to blend a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use the blending tool. I'm going to zoom in over here. Take a look. I'm going to use the blending tool and just, is the size too big? I'm going to make it a little bit softer, a little bit smaller. Okay, a little bit like softer over here. And I use the same texture brush with chalk, and I'm gonna just blend a little. I don't want everything look all smooth. Okay, just kill some of the texture. Okay, a little bit. Okay, like that. I'm gonna have a little bit smoother. And this also can create a soft edges if you want. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit blue color, so I'm gonna drag this all the way to the blue side. And over here, a little bit lighter, like this. Okay, I'm gonna make this really soft. So when I draw, I don't have to have 100% of the colors, like this. Just have a little bit of the blue tone, but it's not really solid. Okay, like that. Let's get have a little bit blue. Feel a little bit blue over here. That's good. Now I'm gonna have a little the color coming back here on this side. Have a little bit. Let me see, even a little bit more red. This color. I have see that color on the top over here too. So not just blue, also have a little bit like a light purple colors. So if you're a little bit confused, is how can you see that color? I don't, and it's okay, and you will eventually. Okay, it will take a little time to practice your color theory. And now coming on the top over here, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. I'm gonna come a little bit darker like this. Maybe not so intense, like that would be the color. And I'm gonna have this a little bit smaller brush. And take a look. I'm gonna have this a little bit more solid, like this. I don't want to make it all same one color. I want to see the color actually underneath. Okay, like that. and I want this color to be darker. I'm gonna come in over here. You can see that color is very darker. Like this too. Now you see how rich the color it become. Okay. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. You can see that on the back over here. It's very rich, right? Now we're gonna continue doing a little bit more and more and coming in. Eventually we're gonna make it really beautiful and rich contrast. Now we're gonna look into the back over here. Eventually, originally I thought I'm gonna make this a little bit higher, so I'm gonna make it a little bit higher. I'm gonna pick this color first. Okay, but this color a little bit too much, too light. Also a little bit cooler, like that. I want this color. Okay, so originally when you're doing it, you want to focus on the whole area color, the average color, and before you're going into smaller and smaller details. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, a little bit clear. Now I'm gonna make this a little bit higher. Oh, this color need to be lighter. Okay, now I'm gonna come here, lighter. That's good. Like that. In the drawing process, doesn't matter what medium you use, you focus on the color, the shape, right? You see, oh, I like that color. That's supposed to be the colors. You're just looking for that color, look for that color, go for that color, and mix that color. Okay, that's good. Now back over here. Now on the tail, I'm gonna set a little color. I'm gonna pick this color first, and this is a little bit warmer. I'm going toward a little bit toward the red. That's good. I'm gonna pick this color like that. And the top over here have a little bit blue somewhere. I'm gonna just go with a little bit gray color. If you want, you can all the way go into the blue over here. And the blue, I'm gonna make it a little bit neutral, like this, the color. And looking for that color, right? Set it right over here. And I'm gonna use a little blending tool. I'm gonna make it a little smaller because this area is very small, tiny. Okay, I can blend that color out here, so get the middle tone. That's good. Okay, like this. I'm gonna come back with the brush tool. So I'm going to take a look, and I can pick this color and coming up over here. That's the right color. And in the back over here, I'm gonna pick that color. That's almost the color I want. I'm gonna come here to like that. Okay, here has a little bit warmer color. I'm gonna go over here, a little bit lighter, like that. Maybe a little translucent. Brush a little bit bigger, like this. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna go with other richer color and coming like this. I'm looking for a little bit the brush stroke, a little bit lower, and here you go. And coming down here, and actually on the top over here I can see some green color, so I'm going to go to the green. So as long as you're in your mind, in your eye, is everything is only the three primary colors, to mix all the colors, and it will be pretty easy to find the color that you think it represents the area. So I'm gonna come here a little bit lighter, like this, a little gray, like that. I think this is the color right here. Looking for the inspiration, which is your reference now. That's good, right? Now coming down here at the bottom, I'm gonna move it a little bit higher. Have a little bit darker color like this. I don't want you to think about that. Oh, one color. I'm gonna make one color to be the same, and just make everything look the same, and it would make you feel like a muddy. Okay, now it has a little bit yellow, I can see, which is look like a little green. Okay. And I'm gonna pick this color, which is a little bit darker, even darker, like this. Now I can see here need a little bit warmer color, a little bit warmer, like over there. Just think about your brush work. Coming down here. This is good. And I'm gonna blend a little bit right here. Blend the color over. And I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, but it's a little more like a little bit purple colors. But I think, yeah, actually this color, a little gray color, right here, a little bit lighter. It's too big. The brush stroke a little bit too big, a little bit gray. Okay, like this, lighter, like that. That's good. That's good. Now I'm gonna take a look. Now this back a little bit higher. That's good. Now I'm gonna come up over here, and I'm gonna set a little details into this area. And take a look at that back over here first. First, I'm gonna set a little bit darker color. First, I'm gonna pick the color that already here, right? This color, but it's a little bit darker. Take a look. It's the right color. Good. Now what I like to do, I'm going to set a little dark color on the edge. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to say a little bit bigger stroke, a little bit warmer, a little bit brighter. I'm going to move it toward the right hand side on the color wheel. Like this. And the top over here overall is a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna pick a little bit lighter color. That's good. Like that. Look before you act. I think I have a little bit purplish colors coming over here. I can see a little purple color right over here. Like that. A little bit light. Now the color pretty rich. That's good. Not just looking for the color. Look at the connection between those colors. Like over here in the top should be a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna come over here a little bit lighter. And then looking for this color may not be so much purple. Should be over here like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna have the brush stroke a little bit smaller. Maybe a little bit more opacity, a little bit higher. I'm gonna come over here. See? Now I'm gonna put a little lighter shape into here. If you use pastel pencil, it will be very similar what I'm doing here too. Now that's good. I'm gonna come in over here. I'm gonna use the same color. Look and curve like this a little bit. Good. Right? And then another line over here coming down from here. Looking for it. Look first, and then a little line coming down like this. Okay, that's good. Now, on the top here, I can make it even lighter. Also a little bit more gray. Okay, like this. This is the lightest. Now that's good. Now what I want to do now, I'm going to come to the back over here. I'm going to make some modification. First, I'm going to use the lighter colors. This color, maybe not so light, coming down a little bit, like that. It's good. I'm going to make it a little smaller brush. Coming to the top over here. Now, it come down a little bit. And the edge, it just look a little bit lighter, but it's not too smooth. You don't have to make exactly look like the reference. But the reference is always helpful as inspiration. Okay. Make this a little bit lighter. Like that. Good. And coming here. Like that. Now what I want to do next, I'm going to pick the background color. Now I'm going to clean up this color. Okay, like that. Clean it up and clean it up. And look again. I think this doesn't have that much light color on the side. Like this. This is good. Now actually I also want a little darker color, but I'm gonna pick this color first. It looks like a little bit darker, coming down like this. A little bit more neutral. Okay, I'm gonna come in here, see, a little bit darker, like that. That's good. A little bit mark over here, see, a little bit darker too. Okay, I think this color also a little bit more neutral, like this. Let's see, think about the color and then think about how dark, how light the color. Like this. I'm gonna blend a little bit over here. But when I blend, I don't want to make it totally smooth either. Okay, that. That's good. Right, looks like here a little bit lighter and coming closer over here. I'm gonna pick this color first. But it's not so much yellow. I'm gonna come in with this direction and coming toward over here. And let's see, it looks like a little bit more purplish color coming down over here, but a little bit lighter. So that's probably the color. And make the opacity a little bit lower. Like that, look, before you draw or paint. Get that. And over here, a little bit lighter too. Okay. Over this area, a little bit lighter too, with the same color. Like that. Okay, the top over here, the same color. And coming here too. They don't want to have everything look smooth, okay? You need to have some vibrant colors and have some changes. And in this case, you don't want to overuse the blender too. Okay, I think this color can be a little bit darker like this. Coming here, this is not so light. Maybe a little bit purplish color, a little bit darker and gray. I want to have this color. Tone that down a little bit. Okay, that's good. I'm looking for the color over here, have a little bit more yellow, brown color. I'm gonna pick this color like that. And let's see. This color, more like this. That's good. And the edge over here have the little bit green color coming over here. Green, gray color. Good. I'm gonna have this color like this. Looks good. Oh, too big. Too intense. So I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. And also control your Apple Pencil. Don't make it too dark. Like that. On the edge over here, almost the same color, like this, coming down, like that. And a little bit grayed. A little bit blue. So I'm gonna come over here. And too bright, coming to with the gray color, like this. That's good. And this probably a little bit too much contrast. You use the blender, just blend the color in here. It's good. I can take care of that. Now, very good. I'm going to take care of the face a little bit later. I'm going to coming back over here, looking in this area, and it looks like I have a little bit more, a little bit purple over here in this area. So I'm going to come to this side, and that's good. Like that. What I want to do, I'm going to make it a little smaller and make the opacity a little bit lower. What I want to do, I'm going to draw this line with the correct color. A little bit darker. A little bit darker, like that. It's good. Looking for the right color, the right opacity, the right value. Okay, like this. Okay, that's good. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna mix this color, the correct color, and I'm almost there. This almost the color, like this. Maybe a little bit lighter, like that. Maybe a little bit more blue. Okay, let's take a look. And so it's always start from the bigger and then going smaller and smaller later. Okay, you no need to try to set the color right from the beginning and right in the details. And that's it's gonna make you frustrated because the bigger area, bigger relationship, you have not finished. And how can you go into the smaller? Because smaller is going to be within the bigger. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter over here, like this. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit texture, like that. And that need to be a little grayed, a little bit darker. This. I'm gonna add a little lighter tone. And the lighter tone, I already have this color here. That's good. I'm gonna have this. And a little lighter tone over here. This is probably a little bit too wide. I'm gonna fix that a little bit later. Let's take a look at this line. This needs to be over here too. Okay, now I'm gonna pick the light color, and this the light color. Maybe a little bit cooler. Let's see which direction. Take like this. A little bit cooler. You can go all the way to the edge over here. Actually, it should come back to this side, but it's pretty cool on this side. This, because after all, those are facing to the light. It's a little bit warmer, like this. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna start applying to this area. That's good. Still the right color. And also tongue a little bit over here too. It's very similar. Smaller brush size. That. Now make it come back a little bigger. Okay. Okay. Getting there. I think this is a little bit too cool, so I'm gonna come back a little bit warmer side. Okay, let's see. When you're doing smaller details, keep paying attention to the bigger connection. Like it's the whole area over here. How light is it? And you don't want to break the bigger relationship because you're adding the new smaller details. Okay, that's good. Getting there. Like this. And your drawing can stop at any time. And it should be, because you're working on the relationship, and before you get into the smaller relationship, your drawing is still going to be look good for the bigger connections. And over here should be a little bit lighter. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter here, just for this little edge over here facing to the top, and make it a little bit smaller brush. Okay, right over here. Now I'm gonna get a little bit darker color. I'm gonna pick this color first. This a little bit warmer, coming to it over here, a little bit darker. Okay, what I want to do, I'm gonna add this a little sharp contrast here. This is how you create those smaller details. It's pretty easy. The condition would be you have to have the bigger connection correct before you do the smaller one. Okay, I think that's good. Now I come into the outside over here, create some contrast. I'm gonna pick this color and make it a little bit darker. First, on the edge over here, there's quite a space between this and the outside. This also needs to be a bit thinner. Like this. I'm looking for this area, make a little bit bigger brush. And you're looking for this color, and it's not just the right color yet. Need to be a little bit green, a little bit greenish color. Looking for in here, like that, a little bit greenish color over here. Now come back a little bit warmer color. Like that, maybe even a little bit darker color. Right over here. Like that. Now this is good. I think this line can come in a little bit more toward the left side. So I'm gonna pick this color. And should be a little bit darker over here. And a little bit smaller line. And this line could come in a little bit more toward the left side. That's good. Like this, roughly. The line can be a little bit darker. Come to get to the bottom here. Okay, now I'm gonna pick this color to correct that edge. Now make the line a little bit thinner. I'm gonna pick this color, the purplish color, coming in here too, like that, a little texture. Okay, let's take a look at overall. Alright, that's good, but that color a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna pick this color first and make it a little bit lighter. like that, a little bit gray, maybe a little bit more bluish color, like this, probably the correct color. So even though you have this new color, it's a little bit more correct, but you don't have to totally cover the color underneath, because those color can see through, and also make it look much richer. So overall, this area is supposed to be look lighter, like that. Now this is good. Now I'm gonna come back into this area. I'm gonna make the detail. What I want to do, I'm gonna make a little bit darker, and that's good. Look at here, a little bit sharper. So I'm gonna pick this color, but this color is supposed to be warmer, a little bit lighter. That's good. I'm gonna pick this color like this. Actually have a little bit glowing effect. So I'm gonna draw that outside like this, and the inside over here have a little bevel. It's kind of effect. Let's see. Look at the outside. That's good. Now I come to this area. This is pretty easy. Let's take a look. First, the inside, it needs to have a little sharper contrast. And maybe not so dark. This color is good. Now in here, a little bit sharper. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna create a little sharper line. This color, I think I will already have this color, so I'm gonna come here to pick that color. That's good. Let's see, like that, much sharper. But we don't want all the tension coming here either. That have a little lighter coming this way, like that. Okay, that's good. Now at the bottom I have some shadow color, so I'm gonna pick this color, darker. That's good. Maybe a little bit darker, a little bit warmer. Okay, this is good. Just to it on this side. That's good. Have some a little bit more of to catch the shadow. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna pick this color and set it also over here. Okay. Actually, I also want to set the same color here. Let's see, a little bit. This catch the shadow a little bit thinner. Like this. Wow, that's good details. But on the inside over here, Also need to have a little bit lighter color, maybe a little more. Like this. A little bit lighter. That's good. And this I have a little bit more bluish color. Just go a little bit gray. It's fine. Make the brush a little bit bigger, like that. Like this. That's good. Now let's take a look at when we make it a little bit bigger view. Now look at that. This is great, right? And just like this, you're going to gradually develop a little more details. Like on the leg over here, I'm going to add this dark color and coming underneath, that's the catch the shadow. Okay, and have this color a little bit darker green color coming over here. Okay, I'm gonna have the brush stroke a little bit smaller and also a little bit darker. Now doing a little bit at the bottom over here. Look at that. That. And on the front over here should be the same color as this. Maybe a little bit gray, a little bit lighter, like this. And keep practicing, and your judgment for the colors will be quicker. It will be more correct. And I'm going to pick this color, the dark color here, and coming in, coming out a little bit, and then turn this way, like that. Okay, now I'm looking for this area, a little bit darker. That, pick that color, it's good. By having it a little bit darker, create a little bit more contrast between these two legs. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna pick the background color. Now I'm going to correct this. And also on the leg over here, I think I'm gonna have a little bit gray color like this. It's good. Like that. And here, I can use the same colorway here coming in. And the bottom, I'm gonna pick a little bit darker green color. The bottom here, like that. That's good. Okay. And now we'll come to the tail. I'm gonna have almost this color. If you see some colors I already have, you already make in the painting, you can just pick that color. Okay. This is good. Now it looks interesting. Now I'm gonna come in here, have a little blending. I think it's a little bit too clean. So I'm gonna have something to blend it over. Now it's a little bit softer, should be blend together. I'm gonna blend the color over. Okay, that's good. Like this. That's good. Squint your eye. I think this is a little separation, a little bit too much. I'm gonna blend the edge a little bit blur. This. A little bit softer transition. That's good. And I'm gonna looking for there's set a little details in here. And I'm gonna pick this color. Like this. A little bit separation. Like that. That can do the trick. Now I'm gonna come to the face. And this is first I'm gonna use a little blending. Blend the color a little bit. And looks like in this area, now I'm gonna start setting a little warmer color. Here we go, a little warmer color right over here. Okay, a little warmer color here too. Okay. Now the warmer color all the way coming here on this side. So always think related. Relate one area to the other colors. On this side, after this color, it's about right. This is the color. I take this color in here, make the brush a little bit bigger. Right, maybe also a little bit, look a little bit more green. So I'm gonna come into the green side. So let's see, maybe, ooh, that's too much. Coming down a little bit, the intensity a little bit lower. Like that, a little bit lower. That's good. Okay, now this color coming also, that should be darker. Darker, it's good. Coming here, like that. But this color should be a little bit darker, so I'm gonna see if I can pick that color. That's the right color. So I'm gonna pick this color, put it a little bit darker. That's good. Now, coming to the face. And now let's see. First, we're going to take a look over here. And should be a little, first the nostril, a little bit darker. I'm going to make it a little bit darker here. And a little bit cooler. Okay. Now, put a little nostril here. That's good. And a little bit smaller brush on the edge, on the side over here. It's almost there. And the eyebrows on the top. And the eye. Right? Take a look at the eye. Should be just right there. Okay. And on the eyelid, a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer, a little bit lighter, like that color. Okay, let's take a look in here. A little bit too big, the brush stroke. So I'm gonna go a little bit smaller. Like that. Take a look. That's good. Here, a little bit detail. And on the face over here, some texture. Let's see, here has a little bit more green color, so I'm gonna move this color over here. Right, that's good. This whole area is a little bit more green. Like that. Now take a look at that nose here. To a little bit a lighter color, a little bit warmer too, like this, on top of the nose here. Like that. And the nostril can be a little bit darker. A little bit darker. Like this. Right, that's good. Like this. And over here has a little bit more red. Like this. Now you can see we're going for smaller and smaller detail. Over here I have a little bit more green. Go to the green first. And I have this kind of green gray color. You see how dark is it? Good. So I'm going to set this color right over here. Let's going to see when this is big. So first, I'm going to clean up the color here too. Make the brush a little bit bigger. Like this. Coming in. Like this. That's good. Let me see. Right, I think I'm going to make the face over here have a little warmer color. Like this. Right over here. That's good. And a little bit green color, like this. That probably a little bit too much, so I'm gonna blend it a little. That probably too much. You can blend the color over. Okay. Now the outside, I'm gonna pick the background color. The outside over here, I'm gonna trim it a little bit. Like this. So, and the background over here, if you want to have a little bit more yellowish colors, okay, like that. I'm gonna pick this color first, and then I'm gonna have a little bit more yellowish color, and also a little bit intense, a little bit darker, like that, if you want. I'm gonna have a little bit bigger brush, a little lighter, okay, so I can do that. I don't want to make it too different from the background or too obvious. I'm gonna color over here, looking for the perspective, like that. Okay, I can also blend it all over here, maybe a little bit more. A little bit, like this, good. And on the top over here, I want to clean up the outside edge by using the background color. I'm going to make it 100%. The brush stroke a little bit smaller, like this. Here you go. A little bit over. So tap 2 fingers to undo, tap 3 fingers to redo. So it's very easy to use, very easy to back and forth. And now I cleaned it over here. Now also going to clean a little bit inside over here. Okay, now it's good. Coming over here, now I'm going to remove those unwanted stroke. Okay, let's take a look. And now if you want to have some areas have a little bit more softer, and you can use the blending tool. Like over here, a little bit softer in here, and maybe have this color blend in, or make it a little softer. You can have that effect. So make it a little bit less important. And the back over here, I'm gonna blend that over here, blend the color in here too. Still a little shape over here for the back of the leg. But you don't really need to have everything so clear. And maybe a little bit over here, like that. Doesn't really need to have all clear. Like this. Right, that's good. And come in a little bit, like that. And I'm gonna pick this color a little bit here and give it a little bit suggestions of the platform. Like this, a little bit over here too, like that. And take a look. This probably a little bit too purple, so I'm gonna have a little bit gray color like this. I'm gonna neutralize a little bit, have a bigger brush, have a little less opaque. So I'm gonna see. Gonna have the opposite color, a little bit greenish gray color. And I can blend it over here so you make it look less purple. Like that. And also in this area, I do want it to be even lighter. So I'm gonna make it a little lighter, like this. Control the pressure. Okay, you don't need to make it too light or too opaque. Okay, over here too. But over here I want to have a little purple colors, so I'm gonna have a little purple color here, and then I'm gonna blend a little bit, adjust the color. Like that. And the bottom over here, now I'm gonna pick this yellow brown colors coming here and give it a little bit, maybe a little bit darker, like right here, like that. And here I have a little bit yellowish color, a greenish color, and green gray color, like this. Make it a little darker. So I'm gonna have some color in it too. Like this, a little bit more yellow. Okay, that's good. There's some reflecting light coming up from the bottom. And on the other side, the same thing over here. I don't think it need to be so clear. So I'm gonna zoom in over here. Is the blender. I'm gonna pick this color. It's the same color that I'm going to set a little tone over here. Doesn't need to be too clear. Like that. That's good. Smaller brush. That's good. And over here, a little bit darker too. Okay, now I'm gonna pick this color. I'm gonna open this up a little more. Okay. That's a good. I'm gonna come in here to pick a little purple color that is a little bit lighter. For a little lighter value on the top here. Now it's too dark. Like this. I'm gonna, let's see. Now little by little, I can make this painting lots of details. Okay. Now, take a look at the outside over here. I'm gonna clean it up too. I'm gonna have a blender, a little smaller. I'm gonna blend this up like this. Blend this a little bit higher, like that. I'm gonna pick this color. Change that a little bit, like this. Okay, I'm gonna pick this color a little bit darker. Not so dark, that's good. A little bit lighter, that's good. I'm gonna draw a few lines. And now I think this digital painting is finished. You can continue working on it, but this is the direction how you start a painting, only with simple tools. If you're a member of the Enjoying Art Learning community, you can always get access to these learning materials in the Enjoying Art Learning Center. I hope this helpful. We'll continue in our next lesson.